Reverend James W. Christensen, pastor of the First Parish Federated Church in South Berwick, will offer the invocation.
Let's be together in a word of prayer. Gracious God, we've waited through the short, long weeks and the long, short years, and we're finally here. We're at the beginning of an ending and the end of a beginning. This weekend, the journey through the school year ends, and this weekend, the commencement begins. And gracious God, through all that occurs this weekend, the gatherings, the celebrations, the awards, the proud tears, the performances, the goodbyes, and the thank yous, we ask that you help us continue to grow and learn. If we think too highly of ourselves, teach us humility. If we think too little of ourselves, help us to stand tall. Gracious God, at the beginning of an ending and the ending of a beginning, help us to see ourselves as you see us, your special creations, the objects of your love, and persons with a role to play in making this world more humane for all of Earth's children. Gracious God, as this week's ending begins, help us to know ourselves to be your loved children. Amen.
Please be seated. There are a few more seats left free right after the faculty and trustees, and there are a couple of seats down here. I hope you can make do at the back. It's great to have all of you here to celebrate the class of 1994 and the academic accomplishments of all of the divisions of the school and of all of our students. I would like to open by thanking a few people. The music tonight was provided by Mr. Denson, accompanied by Mike Bartner, Gary Choi, and Ryan Wong. Some of that music was original. Mr. Fletcher has been the advisor for the class of 1994, and all responsibility for this class, at least when it succeeds, is his. A big thanks to Mr. Mike, an appropriately big thanks, and to his crew who have done so much to bring the campus into a good state of repair and appearance. He has been beating those fields with the tractors, trying to get everything ready for tomorrow. And finally, as always, a thanks to Laura Adams, who rides herd on all of us, especially on me, and who tries to make this the special event it ought to be for everyone. This is our awards night and baccalaureate. Tonight we come together to celebrate the academic accomplishments and athletic accomplishments and artistic accomplishments of lower, middle, and upper school students. And in the baccalaureate service itself, to celebrate the special talents and special memories of the class of 1994. Before taking on those very pleasant duties, I face the sadder task of acknowledging the departure of 5 members of our faculty. Their gifts are immense, and we will miss them immensely. Mr. Denson, as he did tonight, brought music to the Academy. Miss Palmerlow, despite being a graduate of a rival school, brought to us an appreciation of our favorite dead language and fun to the middle school. Miss Marchek somehow fit her graduate studies and all of her examinations, her academic and coaching responsibilities, and 2 fairly wild cats into a very tight schedule. Mr., or I guess now should say Dr. Barrett, was our academic paladin, coming to our rescue very early in the year. He filled the breach in chemistry with a sense of humor and a flair for teaching. And finally, Mrs. Pazon, or I hope I don't get in trouble doing this, or Eudora, as the class of 1994 now knows her after our final Brain Bowl. Mrs. Pazon arrived on this campus in 1971. For a generation, she has been sharing her talents and her art as a teacher. As she leaves us, she leaves behind what is best about our wonderful profession. For her and for the other 4, my sincere thanks and the Academy's sincere thanks. It truly has been a wonderful year on the hilltop, and I think tonight's awards and recognitions and memories will capture some of that success and some of the joy that we've all had. We start our awards with the Big Sister, Big Brother Recognition Awards. Many juniors and seniors are now involved in this program, making it one of the best of Berwick's traditions. The kindergarten teachers, Ms. Quinn Thibodeau and Ms. Martin, will be followed by the first grade teachers, Ms. Harrington and Ms. Good.
We had a very successful year with members of the junior class and kindergarten class participating in a Big Brother, Big Sister program. On Friday mornings, anticipation ran very high in the kindergarten as the children eagerly looked forward to seeing their big brothers or big sisters. We heard many children ask, "Is my big brother or big sister coming today?" Ms. Martin and I observed many close attachments develop during the year, and we know that both kindergartners and juniors are excited about continuing their relationships next fall. Could Kara Fisher and Brianna Tay come to the stage now, please?
We're very delighted to have Brianna and Kara here to help us recognize two particular juniors who were instrumental in organizing the Big Brother and Big Sister program this year for us. Beginning the very first week of school, these two particular juniors showed incredible energy and enthusiasm, and it really caught fire. You could tell each time that we had to meet with them. They had wonderful ideas, and most important, what they did for us was they ensured that all of the other big brothers and big sisters would be there on whichever particular day and the particular time. We appreciate their time and energy in coordinating all of their classmates and getting them there. And we'd also like to just thank Mr. Melhorn for his flexibility in releasing some of those juniors out of their extended period. It made a big difference. Overall, everyone in the whole program, including Mrs. Quintivido and myself and all the children, really enjoyed the Big Brother, Big Sister program, and they're looking forward to it again next year. And we'd just like to thank Tiernan and Poppy for everything that they did. First, we'd like to ask Tiernan Miller to please come forward and accept her award from her little sister, Kara Fisher, who thinks she's a pretty special person. And would Poppy Hagan please come forward and receive her award from Brianna Tay, who also thinks she's pretty darn special.
Each Monday morning this year, our 23 first graders looked forward to the arrival of their big brothers and sisters. There were many special moments and shared experiences throughout the year which established an unbreakable bond between these two groups of students. In fact, these special relationships have become an important part of being a first grader at Berwick Academy. We wish to thank all of the seniors who took part in the program and made it such a memorable year for the first graders. Would all of the big brothers and sisters who participated please stand so we can acknowledge you? At this time, we would like to ask Brittany Reed and Eliza Norcross to come forward to help us present our award.
They're here in spirit. This year, we had one senior who single-handedly did such an outstanding job of directing and planning our program with the first graders. Not only did she manage to organize her classmates, be a responsible senior herself and big sister, she also took an interest in every first grader. All the first graders knew her, loved her. She was known by all. A warm smile, a fresh batch of cookies always accompanied her to lower school. For her hard work and dedication, we would like to recognize and thank Heather Davis.
I'm glad somebody else feels as bashful as I do. The lower school awards recognize students who are outstanding in areas of academic endeavor or citizenship. Mrs. Rio, the director of the lower school, will present the lower school awards.
Our first award tonight goes to a new fourth grade student who has dazzled both her teachers and her classmates with her remarkable math ability. The math award this year goes to Chris Massey. Our composition award this year goes to a creative and talented writer who has charmed us all, Carrie Carter. And our final award is a citizenship award. This year, it's presented to a charming and delightful new student who has touched the hearts of us all, from the kindergarten children to her peers in fourth grade, Erica Ramsey.
The middle school awards recognize citizenship, contributions to the school and fellow students, and academic excellence in each of the middle school grades. In addition, the William Lambert Cogswell Prize books are presented each year to our ranking scholars in both the middle and upper school. Mr. Witherby, the director of the middle school, will present both the middle school awards and the Cogswell Prizes for the middle school.
The middle school award for the fifth grader goes to a young man who's a new student at Berwick this year and made an incredible transition to the school, endearing himself to classmates and to teachers. This year's recipient in the fifth grade is Matthew Weingartner. The sixth grade recipient is a young man who incredibly gets along at the sixth grade level with all of his classmates. He is not someone who just has a certain group of friends in a certain group of the sixth grade, but throughout the sixth grade is extremely popular, he's an excellent student, an excellent athlete. This year's sixth grade award goes to Chucky Clemens. The seventh grade recipient also endears herself to all of her classmates. She's a very, very strong leader in her grade, also a wonderful athlete and a student, Katie Traynor.
Congratulations.
The eighth grade recipient actually also won this award last year as well, which may give the indication that maybe it's not a very strong class, but actually just the opposite is true. This is an incredibly strong eighth grade class. This young lady, though, deserves to win it again because of her incredible maturity for an eighth grader and her incredible leadership skills. This year's eighth grade winner is Caitlin West. The Cogswell Awards go to the ranking scholar, that student with the highest academic average at the end of the year. In the fifth grade, this student came from our lower school and right from the start of the year made a very successful transition to the school, not only academically, but socially as well. The fifth grade Cogswell winner is Anna Yurchison. In the sixth grade, we had a tie, dead even at the end of the year, and we thought about ways that we may want to try to break the tie, but because both students are such wonderful students, both in the classroom and outside of the classroom, we thought we might as well give it to both of them. In the 6th grade, the Cogswell Award goes to Will Schleier and Emily Taylor. The 7th grade winner is a new student to Berwick. Right from the start of the year, I think her teachers knew that here was someone who is very simply an exceptional student. She works extremely hard. She has a great deal of ability to go along with her efforts. The 7th grade Cogswell winner is Jessica Sheldon. In the 8th grade, another student who works extremely hard. She actually took one of her courses, a math class in the upper school this year, and even carrying that heavy load, ended up with the highest academic average in the 8th grade. The 8th grade Cogswell recipient is Maria Pedersen.
It's my pleasure to continue with the William Lambert Cogswell Prizes for the 9th, 10th, and 11th grade. The ranking scholar in the 9th grade is Abigail Rose. The ranking scholar in the 10th grade is Jeremy Works. The ranking scholar in the 11th grade, for I think this is the 5th straight year, is Poppy Hagan. The honor awards are presented annually to the students who are outstanding in specific fields of academic endeavor. Mr. Sherbon, the head of the English department, will start the honor awards, and other department heads and faculty members will follow. Mr. Sherbon.
I have not had the pleasure of teaching this year's honor award recipient in English. However, all year long, I was privy to praise of her work from Polly Davy. I know, in fact, that junior year English was not always an easy time for her, and yet I know at the same time that her work and scholarship truly grew this year, including her love of literature. I know also that she does plan on continuing work with writing, perhaps even as a profession, and she does not have to leave the stage to receive this one. Heather Davis.
The old-timer that followed me up on the stage is my grandfather. As the head of the math department, it is my annual honor to present the award to the most outstanding math student at Berwick Academy. But this year it's important that I pass this honor over to my distinguished colleague. The recipient of this award took the Berwick Academy math program into and through uncharted territories over the past few years, that being a second year of advanced placement calculus. His constant partner in this endeavor was Mr. Hett.
Okay. Well, from one old-timer to another, thank you very much. This is the second time in my career in teaching mathematics that I have had the pleasure of going into BC calculus. At Berwick Academy, when I started here, we didn't have the AB, but Mr. Hawks was teaching a calculus course at the time, and we were able to bring the program in, and pretty successfully. But to go on the final leg, we had to have a certain caliber students. We have them at the AB level, and it looks like it's going to continue. But what I'd like to do is to say it's been a pleasure for me for the past 3 years to have been involved with this young man in the senior class, because when I had trouble and got stuck with certain problems, and believe me, there were many times they were, I would ask this young man, help me out, and he certainly did. And like I said, we stayed as equals, and we learned together, and it made the experience great. This year, I'd like to present the Mathematics Award to Justin Quimby.
I haven't been around as long as those two other guys, but I can honestly say that this year's recipient of the Biology Honor Award did some exceptional work in biology. She not only enriched the classroom, but I think I can safely say that she has enriched this whole campus this year with her presence. This year's recipient, and it's my pleasure to give her this award, is Kate Cumlosi.
It's been my pleasure this year to introduce chemistry to a fine group of Berwick Academy students. Several students recorded outstanding performances this year. Among these are Sarah Hamilton, Dominic Rio, Lucas Moore, and Garrett Morgan. However, one student consistently excelled in every aspect of the course. He held the highest test, quiz, and laboratory average every quarter this year. On the American Chemical Society high school final examination, he achieved a score that placed him in the 97th percentile. Tonight it is my great pleasure to present the Honor Award in Chemistry to Jeremy Works.
The Physics Award this year goes to a rather reserved young man who exhibited a great deal of patience, a great deal of insight, and a great deal of sparkle in his eye when he caught on to something and learned something new. And it gives me great pleasure to present the award this year to Jerry Hatt.
Are my senior electives, and I can't give awards to everyone who takes those classes, but I would have to say that my women's history elective and my Civil War elective were without a doubt the most gratifying courses that I've taught here, and I'd like to thank everyone who was in those. But I would have to go one step further, because not only did someone take both of those, but then pushed me somewhat further, and we sat around for a long time talking about the Constitution, and Mr. History this year is Anna McNeil.
Messieurs, Mesdames, bonsoir. There were 9 seniors this year with enough courage to take French as one of their final courses. I hope that all of you had the good fortune to read the account of last summer's trip to France. If so, then you know the qualities for which Heather Davis will be receiving this award. She was exhaustive, and I'm very pleased to think I'll have less grading to do next year. She was funny, irreverent occasionally, but never irrelevant, and I'm very proud to offer this award to Heather Davis this evening.
It's always a pleasure to be a part of this award ceremony because we're celebrating such great academic excellence. But I have to show my biases tonight and focus a little bit more on the classics. This young man who is about to be awarded this great gift has been with me for 4 years. It's a grueling endeavor, but he's brought a lot of beautiful translations to my desk, has interpreted classical things that I don't think have ever been seen in the same eyes as his. And most importantly, I'm proud of being a part of his education. Jed Meddy.
Buenas noches. Can't let the other language go without being spoken. This particular person went to Spain, went to Spanish in the Woods, went to a lower school to teach Spanish. She is definitely Estrella de Español. My pride and joy, Jennifer Beatty.
The Art Award this year goes to someone who's showed constant enthusiasm. She's always been more than eager to help out with projects. She was an advanced art placement student this year. She's attended many workshops outside of school, including studying with Bill Childs and at Haystack. I'm proud to present this award to Ginger Matthews.
The Applied Music Award goes to a student that's become a fixture on campus and is a representation to all of us of what a truly gifted musician can be. I've never heard the same piece twice, and I've never heard him play anything that wasn't written by Josh Rogerson. The Music Award goes to a student that's also been a fixture here and in surrounding communities as a performer. And additionally to his work on stage, he has spent the last semester pursuing the intellectual side of music as a composition student and studying the theory. The Music Award goes to James Namas.
The dance teacher is not able to be with us tonight. She is participating in a dance symposium in North Carolina, but she did send this message, which I will read. This year, the annual Dance Award goes to a young woman who is a talented dancer, singer, and actress, an intelligent student, a wonderful role model, and has contributed so much to Berwick Academy during her years here. Many times, her smiling face has brought sunshine to my day. Her hard work and dedication will be remembered and hopefully followed by the younger dances in years to come. This year, the annual Dance Award is presented to Mandy Brooks. Who will be greatly missed by many on her journey to success. Mandy, congratulations and good luck to your future endeavors, and remember, keep dancing.
The Perkins Prize was created in the memory of Thomas Allen Perkins and is awarded annually to the junior or senior who is a native and resident of the state of Maine, who has attended Berwick Academy for at least 2 years, and who has attained the highest rank in English and history. Mr. Fletcher will present the Perkins Prize.
You can tell by that set of criteria, this is a fairly narrow kind of a thing, and we still agonize over it. But I have this idea this year that if they open this competition up to everything east of the Mississippi, Devin Kearns would probably still win it.
Mrs. Kahlberg will present the Bosch and Lohm Medal Award, which recognizes outstanding work in the sciences for a junior.
Actually, the Baccalaureate and Lohm Award comes from University of Rochester, and it recognizes the outstanding science student through 3 years of academic work at Berwick Academy. And this year, the recipient of the award is a student whom I've never had in class, but I'm really looking forward to having her next year, Poppy Hagan.
Mr. Sherborn will present the Timothy Kelleher Prize for outstanding work in English by a junior.
There's actually more than one award for outstanding work in English for the junior class, and I'm glad of that. That helped me a bit this year. This is actually a money prize, and in the past it has been geared toward excellent scholarship on written exams. And with that criteria, I know I would like to recognize the work of this young woman. She consistently throughout the year wrote excellent analysis on timed exams, and that's no easy task, including the final, which I just read. And let me finish with this. If Captain Ahab's last spear didn't finish off Moby Dick, then Sarah Hamilton's exam did. Congratulations.
The Blue and White Award is presented annually to the underclassman who, in the eyes of the faculty, has contributed most to the Academy. I am pleased to present the award to two juniors, Julia Lynch and Jonathan Sevigny. The Rensselaer Mathematics and Science Award recognizes juniors who have distinguished themselves in mathematics and sciences. Again, Mr. Hawks.
Mrs. Kahlberg and I had no trouble in making a decision about this award. The recipient, who has already been up here in another area, has distinguished herself in science and math ever since she has arrived here. It is interesting for me to note that the math portion of this award comes despite the fact that at every opportunity she tells me she views math as nothing more than a necessary evil in her life. It's a good thing that I have a forgiving nature and such a sunny disposition. This award goes to Sarah Hamilton.
The Xerox Award is presented to an outstanding junior in the humanities or social studies who best reflects the ideals of leadership and community service. In addition, the Brown Book Award recognizes a junior outstanding for his or her work in English. Mr. Sherborn will present both the Xerox and the Brown Book Awards.
These were the other awards I was alluding to. I hope that this young woman does not at all feel cheated by the fact that she gets to come up and receive two awards at once, but we thought we'd just save her the trouble. Another fine young student in English, and indeed a leader in community service, a fine scholar all around, obviously, Poppy Hagan.
The Dartmouth Book is awarded to a junior who has demonstrated intellectual leadership and has made a positive contribution to the extracurricular life of the Academy. It is my pleasure to announce that the 1994 Dartmouth Book is awarded to Sarah Hamilton. The Smith Book Award recognizes a junior combining academic achievement, leadership, and a concern for others. This year's Smith Book Award goes to May Siffin. The New England Science Teachers Award goes to that student who, through her initiative, has done the most to promote awareness of science and technology. And the Society of Women Engineers Award recognizes a junior woman who's excelled in science and mathematics. Mrs. Colbert.
Okay, New England Science Teachers organization, which likes to call itself NEST and its members Nestlings, was started at MIT about 3 or 4 years ago by a group of science teachers who were there for a summer program. And one of the things they decided to do was to give awards to encourage people to share science and technology. This is the second year that this award is going to Ms. Roll, Sarah. She has been working with the Science Outreach Program for 2 years, and this year was a major mover and shaker. And don't ask me why I just called her Sarah. Susan, I apologize. I hope somebody will take over her place next year doing this, because she brought a very, very important aspect to every lesson she brought down to the lower school, and that was food. And now just a couple of words about that necessary evil, mathematics. Those of us in the sciences, Bob, know why that necessary evil exists. After all, didn't Newton invent calculus so he could do his physics better? The Society of Women Engineers gives an award to promote interest in young women in fields of engineering, and it goes to a very talented student this year. I've had the pleasure of having her in class once for physics when she was only a sophomore. And I hope she continues learning that necessary evil, because she's sure going to need it next year. Sarah Hamilton.
The Thomas B. Davidson Marine Fellowship recognizes the student demonstrating the most interest and achievement in marine sciences. Mr. Melhorn.
This year's Thomas B. Davison Marine Fellowship Award goes to an individual who received it last year. Unfortunately, he wasn't here last year to actually accept the award. I hope he's here tonight, because I've been waiting such a long time to actually shake his hand in front of you all. This year's award recipient goes to Eric Hiltonen.
The Hilltop Awards honor the outstanding female and male three-season athletes at the Academy. Mr. Raposa, the Director of Athletics, will present the Hilltop Awards.
Thank you. For those of you familiar with our middle school athletic program, you know that it's relatively new, and in many respects, the two middle school students that we honor this evening helped our program grow up, and I am thankful for their efforts, whether it was on the soccer field, basketball court, the swimming pool, baseball diamond, or lacrosse field. These two 8th grade students are outstanding athletes. They challenge their teammates to move to the next level. As they move to the next level here at Berwick Academy, I hope they find those challenges facing them. I'm honored to present the Hilltop Awards at the middle school level to Rebecca Olney and Nathan Gagner. Rebecca was unable to be here this evening, and we'll see to it that she gets her award. Two members of this class of '94 deserve special recognition, not only for their athletic ability and achievements, but also for the leadership that they demonstrate. Anyone who picks a name and says this individual is a good athlete has to understand that a good athlete is also someone who possesses tremendous leadership qualities. Both of these students certainly possess those qualities. I know that as part of a leader, being a leader, they have to make several sacrifices. Both have done that. In the soccer season, basketball season, ice hockey season, lacrosse season, baseball season, these two individuals were put on the spot by their teammates to do the job, and often they did it so successfully with such cool confidence that I'm sure their teammates learned a great deal from them. I'm very pleased to present the Upper School Hilltop Awards to Jen Beati and Jeff Gray.
The Class of 1915 award recognizes an academically outstanding student selected by the headmaster, the head of the English department, and the head of the mathematics department. And to get those three to agree is a real feat. It is my pleasure to award the Class of 1915 award for 1994 to Sue Roll. The Douglas Dara Hollis Memorial Award honors that senior who has demonstrated outstanding achievement in the dramatic arts during her or his career at the Academy. Mr. Belargian will present the Douglas Dara Hollis Awards.
On behalf of Mrs. Kahlberg and myself, I am proud to honor two students who have graced our stage through many performances. We have appreciated their talents and what they've done, and we look forward to seeing them in the theater for years to come. I'm proud to honor Mandy Brooks and James Normas.
The Parson Thompson Award is named for one of Berwick's founders. It recognizes seniors who have contributed to the lives of others off the hilltop. The 1994 Parson Thompson Award goes to Jennifer Beati. The Headmasters Awards recognize members of the senior class who best typify the ideals and spirit of the Academy. It is my pleasure to present the Headmasters Awards to three seniors. For her unadorned spirit and integrity, Michelle Dubois. For his citizenship and enthusiasm, Bill Marple. And for his quiet realization of the classic, and I underline quiet, of the classical wedding of academics and athletics, Jed Meddy. The last year has brought an important student, faculty, and parent initiative to the Academy, the Wellness Committee. Mr. Dills will present the Wellness Committee Recognition Award.
For 2 years, Michelle Dubois' efforts have been instrumental in the development and establishment, really, of the Wellness Committee. In her 2 years, she served as a student representative and on the upper school student education group. Most recently, we've been most proud of her work outside of the Berwick Academy community. She's worked down in Portsmouth with the Sexual Assault Support Services. She is an advocate for that group and has spent her 2 weeks as her senior project down there working outside the community. It's just a true sign of her commitment to the wellness and health issues. And she also has indicated that she will pursue this next year at her college. Michelle has just been a wonderful person on the committee. It's been like having an adult with a student's perspective, and she will certainly be very hard to replace next year, and I think we will judge all future student representatives by her work on the committee. So the faculty and parents and students would like to thank Michelle Dubois.
I need to depart from the script for a moment. Although I have no certificates, I have recently learned of 2 scholarships that deserve announcement tonight. The South Berwick and Elliott Rotary Scholarship has been awarded to Jen Beatty, and the Acton School Lawrence Scholarship has been awarded to Marie Johnson. Also, not on the script, but it is a presentation I have dearly been looking forward to. Was prompted several weeks ago by a newspaper article in which a member of the class of 1994 noted that he had not been able to wear the Berwick colors as he went in pursuit of his interscholastic rowing championship, all 3 of them, and that he had gone to extremes to get something blue and white and something Berwick to fly the colors for us and take Berwick to other places. Adam McNeil has been a 3-time champion, I am very happy to award him the first, the only Berwick Academy singlet. My last presentation is also one that is very dear to me. For the last 9 months, we have had the good fortune to share this hilltop with a young woman from Hungary. Catalin Komloji has graced our school with her intellect, with her enthusiasm, and with her civility. It is my pleasure to award her the Berwick Academy Certificate of Attendance. It's now my pleasure to turn the program over to Don Payzant, the President of the Cum Laude Society at Berwick, and Terry Doggett, the Assistant Headmaster, for the formal installation of new Cum Laude members.
For teachers and students, this is a very special time of year. At Berwick Academy, this has been a very busy week. We all started the week with exams and will end tomorrow with our 203rd commencement. I'm not sure whether this is the end of a beginning or the beginning of the end. I think I heard that earlier tonight. But very learned people have called that before and continue to call it the same. Others will tell you that this is a milestone, a point of reference in the journey through life. I hope it is time to pause, a time to rest a little and reflect. It is also a time when we recognize and reward various achievements. The pursuit of academic excellence is never easy and takes a special kind of dedication and a love for learning. The Cum Laude Society was formed to recognize and honor academic accomplishment by high school students in much the same way that Phi Beta Kappa recognizes similar achievement in our nation's colleges. The standards of membership have been kept intentionally high. Schools undergo a rigorous examination before being granted charters. At Berwick, we elect only juniors or seniors who have been at the school for 2 full years, seniors who have maintained an average of 85 and have selected a very challenging program are considered. Juniors are considered only if they have maintained a 90 average in all their courses. In any case, we never elect more than 20% of the senior class, nor more than 10% of the junior class. Last year, 3 juniors, Jed Meddy, Justin Quimby, and Sue Roll, were inducted into the Society. We are also charged with maintaining a faculty membership which will ensure the continuance of the ideals of the Society. Faculty members may be elected only by unanimous vote of all the present members and are men or women who by word and deed have demonstrated that they uphold and promote the standards and ideals of the Society. I am happy to announce that tonight the Society recognizes the time and effort expended by Daniel Belazarin, Vlad Fletcher, and Lynn Gass in furthering academic achievement and excellence. The motto of the Cum Laude Society is excellence, justice, and honor. Excellence in academic and scholastic achievement, and also excellence in the moral sense. Justice in personal relationships, and honor in all things, including the concept of personal dignity. It is with distinct pride and great pleasure that I welcome 3 new members of our senior class into the Cum Laude Society. They are Heather Davis, Jerry Hatt, and Marie Johnson. In addition, Poppy Hagan and Sarah Hamilton from our junior class have been elected to membership. As I shall not be returning to Berwick next year, a new president had to be elected, and it is my pleasure to announce that the new Cum Laude president for next year is Robert Hawks. In addition, after serving many years as secretary of the chapter, Terry Doggett has chosen to step down from this office, and Rachel Kahlberg has been elected to serve as secretary of this chapter. I would like to now ask Mr. Doggett, Justin, Jed, and Sue to assist me in the presentation of certificates of membership and the pins of the Society. If I could have the new student and faculty members, along with Mr. Doggett, Justin, Jed, and Sue, come to the stage, I will give you the charge. Well, I'll give them the charge since there seems to be a slight flaw in the fact that the certificates that I signed this week don't seem to be here right now, so, nor are the pins, so you'll have to do with a handshake till we find out just where they are. All right, the charge is Heather, Jerry, Marie, Poppy, Sarah, Mr. Belazarin, Mr. Fletcher, and Ms. Gass. During your years at Berwick Academy, you have established a distinguished record for yourselves, which has won for you a membership in the Cum Laude Society. The Society is a fellowship of scholars whose purpose is to recognize excellence in academic work. In your future educational pursuits, it is hopeful that you will accept the honor of membership in this society as a responsibility to make some contribution to man's ongoing search for greater understanding of himself and society. In testimony of admission to your Cum Laude Society, by authority of the Society duly granted, I now present to you certificates of membership with pin of the Society. It's a charge I had to read. So I guess perhaps I'll get them tomorrow. Yeah.
Tomorrow, the class of 1994 will be graduated on paper. Tonight, it graduates in deed. My favorite moments from the commencement time have always been produced by the seniors themselves. It is my great pleasure to turn this stage and you over to the class of 1994 for its baccalaureate exercise. This will take us a couple of minutes to get adjusted stage-wise. Bear with us.
Once a year we gather at this place. We come here searching for a little peace, growing weary of that crazy human race. So we come to let our souls dance among a special place, and we form a circle of love, joining hands as we get to know ourselves and our growing age. And we learn that the child is no different from the man as we listen to the inner voice of change. We marvel at the ones who sit before us. We're inspired by the wisdom of their words, and together our voices form a chorus, which all across the heavens can be heard. And we form a circle of love, joining hearts as we stare into the futures unknown. And we pray to God above that this love will never end, but we're thankful for these miracles we're shown. We can dance, we can sing, all the time believing that our love will run strong all through the year. Just believe with our hearts, that's where it must start, 'cause we're taught we can do almost anything. And we form a circle of love, joining souls as we watch the doors close on our past years. And our love will be all warm should the night grow cold and gray, and our friends will be the stars to conquer fears. We can dance, we can sing, all the time believing that our love will run strong all through the year. Just believe with our hearts, that's where it must start, 'cause we're taught we can do almost anything.
The ideas of prejudice, anger, and technology that penetrate our society seem to cancel out the theory of innate goodness in people. These problems hinder the ability of people to cooperate, learn, and discover together. However, take these people to the wilderness, free them of societal pressures, and allow them to cherish, love, and learn from the natural surroundings, and they will learn to cooperate with each other. The schedules and busily filled hours of each day cause tension. We try to hurry and get so many things done that we tend to ignore our problems. We take shortcuts that decrease learning and discovery, and we do not pay attention to our needs and the needs of people around us. Thoreau states in Walden, "Why should we live with such hurry and waste of life?" Thoreau is grasping the true meaning of life in this statement. Likewise, at Berwick, we too hurry through the school day, sports practice, and our homework at night. We take rigorous courses and cram in learning, but while encouraging us to focus on our academics, Berwick also realizes that it takes more than AP Calculus and U.S. history to make a whole person. Last spring, the school sent my class of 38 to the woods. We reluctantly went. We started our journey at school. We were going to the woods of Maine to unite and grow concurrently for our final year. The voyage to the destination was loud and full of laughter and excitement. All the equipment was on the roof of the van, and all the eager bodies were inside, ready to be challenged. We arrived at the Forks, Maine in an extreme desire of the bathrooms and warmth. Although it was spring, the chill of northern Maine set in, and we exited our comfortable, warm van. We divided into two groups. The leaders instructed us to choose a group that contained people with which we were least acquainted. Then we set out and climbed up the hill, where at the top we would meet all the challenges we had to face that afternoon. We spent the afternoon scaling walls, swinging from trees, practicing the complicated art of balance, and coordinating ourselves to complete the tasks together with the greatest amount of efficiency. No longer were we individuals, we were a team. That evening, cooperation again was necessary as we organized to make dinner. Some built a fire, others cooked spaghetti and heated the sauce, a few chopped vegetables for the salad. While eating this dinner that we all helped make, everyone felt a sense of pride in our class. Then came the dishes. The next morning, we all set about breaking up camp so we could get a head start on the powerful body of water we were about to overcome. Again, everyone helped by packing up the vans. We headed to the main lodge, where we received warm protective clothing and advice that we would all surely need. Then we boarded the crowded vehicle and left for the head of the monstrous river. Everyone was a little on edge, eager yet reserved in a nervous way. After going over the instructions again, we all boarded the rafts and began to practice following the commands we had been taught earlier. While beginning to surge down the river were 32 keen binds, alert and ready for the specific commands that could be barked at them any time. The first fall seemed to snap as all four rafts made it through safely. Then I began to feel nervous as my raft entered the second falls, which were more rough than the first. We tried to concentrate, remember, and listen to what the guide was telling us. Suddenly, I lost all concentration, and strikingly, I felt my body plunging into the icy, unforgiving rapids, which swallowed me up like a hungry lion would a damsel. Gasping for air was difficult, normally breathing, but now it seemed as though my lungs, brain, and arms had frozen. While trying to fight off the limitless waves with my paddle, which I gripped onto tightly for security, I kept saying to myself, "Breathe, breathe, breathe." I felt helpless. There were no rafts around me, only water and more water. I was alone. I soon realized that I needed to concentrate on saving myself. For the first time in my life, there was no one else for me to rely on. The other rafts I feel so dumb. The other rafts were far away and they could not help me. I had learned to rely on the people in my class, and now no one was there for me. Many times, still gripping onto my paddle, I tried to fight the muddy current to swim to shore. However, I only continued down the churning river. Finally, I let go of the paddle and decided I needed both my arms and all my stamina to bring myself to shore. However, all my strength was not very much. The wicked waves had sucked out all my power, and the freezing icicles that pierced my body while I was warding off the waves drained even more energy. The desire to live gathered together the fortitude inside of me and carried me to shore. When I reached the much-desired destination, I shivered and cried at what had occurred. I I saw the raft I should have been in go by, and the people looked on with sympathetic eyes, but no one could ever dream of the fear that ran through me as I surged down the river. I sat on the rock waiting as my body soaked in the warmth from the sun-baked rock, and I realized how precious life is. I'm at that stage again. Tomorrow we graduate, and each of us must enter the river alone. As we head off to college, I see each of us waving goodbye with our paddles as we float down separate branches of the river. However, Berwick Academy, our friends, parents, and teachers have provided us with a raft that we can always rely on and turn to. They have taught us the instructions and rules. They have given us tools with which we can survive. And for people who need to discover their individuality, there's always a warm, sun-baked rock for them to sit on and ponder life, death, and leaving the people you love.
We're all students of Mrs. Dean's. Past and present this year, I had her as a voice teacher. And Andre and Renee were lucky enough to have her as a chorus instructor. So we chose, well, actually, Renee and our voice teacher, Mrs. Main. Mrs. Main chose this piece for us to sing at Baccalaureate. And I'd like you to listen to the words very carefully. They're extremely appropriate for this occasion.
Hello? Huh, all right. 4 years. 4 years. Seems like a long time, doesn't it? Goes by a little faster than it actually should. Remember 4 years ago, looking at the graduating class. They seemed to be everything that I'd always wanted to be. Secure, confident, hopeful for their future. And now, 4 years later, I'm wondering what class I missed. It's all right. To tell you the truth, I'm kind of at a loss as to what to say. I mean, what do you honestly say to a group of people who have changed you so deeply, who have affected you so strongly, moved you so much? Them. What do you say to people who have changed your lives forever? You'll never be the same. People that you're not going to see every day again. You're not going to sit next to. You're not going to see in bio or chemistry or history. What do you say to a group of people that you're going to miss very much? Thank you. Thank you.
Next time I help with the signing lights, I think I'm going to try and make a move. This song, due to lack of practice, I'm not going to be able to sing it with the people who I'd hoped to. Also, lack of coordination on my part. But it's one of my favorite songs from one of my favorite plays, Big River, The Adventures of Huckleberry Finn. And so I felt that it still needed to be here. Did the morning come too early? Was the night not long enough? Does a tear of hesitation fall on everything you touch? Well, it might just be a lesson for the hasty heart to know. Maybe leaving's not the only way to go. Maybe laying let your feelings grow accustomed to the dark, and by morning's light you just might solve some problems of the heart, and it all might be a lesson for the hasty heart to know. Maybe leaving's not the only way to go. People reach new understandings all the time. They take a second look, maybe change their minds. People reach new understandings every day. Tell me not to reach, and I'll go away. Did the morning come too early? Was the night not long enough? Does a tear of hesitation fall on everything you touch? Well, it might just be a lesson for the hasty heart to know. Maybe leaving's not the only way to go.
Academy in 1988 as a 7th grader. The days of middle school are a blur in my memory. I remember closeness and a unity as a class. We lost that unity at the start of our freshman year as we embarked upon a new and unfamiliar upper school. Through the next 4 years, we struggled to discover ourselves and our talents. We slowly gained more and more respect for each other as we reestablished our similarities as a class. As our senior year advanced, we began to identify with each other more and more. We found more in common. We shared similar struggles and our closeness grew. I would like to read a poem I wrote for the class of 1994. The future lies ahead of me, and I know not what to think. In my dreams and hopes, I am going to make a difference in the world. But in reality, I have found that I have no extraordinary talents, so apprehension floods my soul. I hang here between childhood and adulthood, and I wonder where to go. A highway of paths webs out before me, and instinct does not guide me. Logically, I am able to choose a path, but emotionally, I cannot follow. I am assured by those around me that I will make the right decision, but how am I to know what the right decision is? The confusion of the unknown future surrounds me, and I long to run back to the comforts of the past, but I have long since outgrown the comfortable familiarity of the school on the hill. It is time for me to move on. I remember my first days here and how slowly they dragged on, but days turned to weeks, weeks turned to months, months turned to years, and quickly time had passed me. So here I stand with so much left undone and so many opportunities awaiting me. And tonight, as I look upon this tiny sea of blue and white, I am finally able to realize its full potential. So many people willing, wanting, and hoping to make a difference. So many varieties of talent in only 38 people. Talent of every kind. Scientists, writers, artists, mathematicians, and philosophers. We must now break away from our security and face the challenges ahead. Use our talents to influence and make changes. No matter where we go, what we do, we will always cling to the memories that echo through the buildings here. So as we part and bid our farewells, let us please remember each other and all the times we shared. Good luck to the class of 1994.
I've spent 7 years here. And over the fourth quarter this year, I had a lot of time to reflect. Well, I probably should have been doing other things, but so be it. And it occurred to me that at the beginning of our high school education, the Soviet Union was one country. Germany was 2 countries. And acid-wash jeans were still in style. Political correctness was just a suggestion, not the rule. Generation X was unheard of, and Christopher Columbus was still considered a hero. The word grunge was only associated with farmers and coal miners. Country music was still under the rock that it should be under. And Michael Jackson was only known as an entertainer at this point. The information highway was still a dirt road. The streets of St. Louis were not navigable by boat. And the senior projects and the wearing of shorts were considered vapidly liberal. Magic Johnson was wearing yellow. Larry Bird was wearing green. And Mike Tyson was not wearing stripes. In our high school education, Mr. Sullivan once spoke dispassionately. Mr. Hawks once spoke softly. And Mr. Ridgway once spoke briefly. Next year, when I look back at the past 4 years, the memories that will be most vivid, most meaningful, and most sacred will not be those that cluttered the national media. Instead, they will be the memory of 38 children who, after 4 years, became educated and respectable young adults. As we look towards the next 4 years, the national news is as unpredictable as possible. Dan Quayle could become president. Good. Michael Jordan could make the major leagues. And the Patriots could win the Super Bowl. For certain, however, it's a success, whether it be in the field of academics, music, art, athletics, or any other field, of the 38 graduates of class of 1994. All of us have people that we'd like to thank for this, for our success, and for the 4 years that we spent here. Personally, I'd just like to take this opportunity to thank Mr. Ridgway for his undying support, and for the shirt, that was great. Mr. Fletcher for giving history life and a sense of humor. And for Mr. Head, I just thought, he deserved a little thanks for everything he's done over these years. In closing, I'd like to share with you the words of Rudyard Kipling in a poem that's meant a lot to me over the years. If you can keep your head when all about you are losing theirs and blaming it on you. If you can trust yourself when all men doubt you, make allowance for their doubting too. If you can wait and not be tired by waiting or being lied about, don't deal in lies. Or being hated, don't give way to hating. And yet, don't look too good nor talk too wise. If you can dream and not make dreams your master, if you can think and not make thoughts your aim, if you can meet with triumph and disaster and treat those two impostors just the same, if you can make one heap of all your winnings and risk it on one turn of pitch and toss and lose and start again at your beginnings and never breathe a word about your loss, If you can talk with crowds and keep your virtue, or walk with kings nor lose the common touch, if neither foes nor loving friends can hurt you, if all men count with you, but none too much, if you can fill the unforgiving minute with 60 seconds worth of distance run, yours is the earth and all that is in it, and which is more, you'll be a man, my son. Thank you.
While Bill's getting his saxophone, I just thought I'd like to say a couple of things. I'm quite proud of Bill because he is the student who has taken lessons the longest with me at Berwick Academy. He started when I think he was 6th grade with his first lesson, and he had his last lesson as a senior. Also, in this next piece he's going to play, there is a written solo, but Bill has made up his own solo. Thank you.
I'd like to dedicate this to Mr. Dubois, who's helped me not only as a saxophonist, but as a person. And to my class, who I've known, most of whom I've known for 10 years, I hope you find whatever you're looking for when you leave Berwick.
think you can see after that why the graduation of the class of 1994 is such a bittersweet event for so many of us. My thanks to the class of 1994. Reverend Christensen will offer the benediction. Would you please stay seated during it and during the recessional so that we can observe the march of the class of 1994.
Matthew Green completed his speech this evening by looking at his classmates and saying thanks, thanks. Adam, in the middle of his speech, looked at the faculty and said thanks. And as one who's twice sat out in the audience and watched as a son and then a daughter graduated, I know that they're saying to you, thanks. Thanks for giving us a chance to share your joy. Thanks for giving us the opportunity to be proud. And thanks for all the brightness and gifts that you have. Truly, graduation, commencement, baccalaureate is a chance for people to get together and celebrate by giving thanks to each other. But it's also a time when we lift our eyes above and we say thanks to the God who has given us this, each other, and the chance to grow. And so we join together and say thank you to God for all that this place is, all that you are, and all the promise that you hold. Amen.